Hey, good morning, sports fans. Louis Diamond coming at you live from our Las Vegas handicapping studios. And you are watching BettorCenter live. And I am joined with one of the hottest handicappers alive, the man ranked number one over at Vegas Insider. Had a beautiful 5-2 day yesterday. He's coming to give us more winners, Mr. Chip Chirimbes. Good morning, Chipper.
Good morning, Louie, and thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Chip. It's about getting the winners, and right now you are the man with the winners. And with that being said, we're going to go down every football game. Obviously, if you think you have something that is worthy of a premium play, Chip, just tell us you got a premium play and tell us how to get it. Simple as that. So that being said, let's get right down to it. We got the Bengals and the Browns today. We got a rematch here from week one where the Bengals were actually pretty lucky to cover that spread. The Browns really pretty much dominated them. Now the Browns have to bounce back. The Bengals getting their first win. Game opens up at 4, went down to 3, but back up to 3.5 right now. You know me, I do not like to lay 3.5 in the NFL. So I got to have a little love for Joe Burrow today. Just a little love, not a lot. But I got to believe that the dog may bark here today. How about you, Chip?
I think you may be right, Lou. You know, this Cincinnati team has only won 1 out of 6 games. But boy, like you've mentioned, they have been competitive. Whereas the Browns, who have all the flash and the glamour, and it's certainly most people's attention, they've been blown out a number of times on the road. Though they played good football, and they're certainly a contender this year. They've had their best record in years. I feel like you do in a way that Cincinnati might be the play here. I love this Burrows. I haven't done well with them this season. I haven't actually used the Bengals, and him and Herbert have made an impression as quarterbacks coming into the league as rookies. I don't know. This is a rivalry, of course, and I'd take the points here. It isn't a game that I've used. I didn't use it. I didn't write it up. It's something to look at and gaze at, like you said. And I think Cincinnati might be the side.
All right. So we're a little bit in alignment there. The stats, you're not going to get good stats on either team. But here's an interesting number. The Browns are 4-23 their last 27 games after rushing for less than 90 yards with Chubb out. I know they had a great 1-2 punch, but that could affect them here today. They are 16-39-1 after a straight-up loss. So the Browns, when they lose in pairs. So I got to have some love for the Bengals today. I definitely see them on a teaser here. I would look at that. So I seem to be in alignment on this game on the schedule. The next game on the schedule is going to feature what do I have here? Next on our schedule, the Cowboys and the Redskins. Redskins and the Indians. Or the Cowboys and the Indians, if that's what there we go. I finally got it out, Chip. All right, Cowboys and Indians. Cowboys, boy, oh boy, are they in disarray. Redskins, definitely another team in disarray, but might have a little bit of a spark, and maybe that's why they're a favorite. They opened up a 3-point dog. Now everybody bet them. They're up to -1. The total went from 49 down to 45.5. So a lot of love on the Redskins and the under today. Where's your love for this game? Any love at all, Chip?
Well, if I did have any love in this game, it wouldn't be for Cowboys. It'd be for Cowgirls. And that's exactly what Dallas is playing like. They don't tackle anybody. They're giving up 500 yards per game on defense. And now without Prescott leading the way at quarterback, they look like they're in big trouble to me. I'm looking at I would play the DC Swampers here. I'd play Washington. And let's see if we can drain the swamp. I think the Cowboys are in big trouble. And all the offensive yards don't mean anything if you can't tackle anybody.
I don't know if that's draining the swamp. I think you want to enrich the swamp here today. I guess sports-wise speaking anyways, but I know we like to see that swamp drained out there in D.C. So the dog in this matchup is 27-13 the last 40 meetings, but you got a 1-point favorite. The Cowboys have hit 5 out of 6, but Washington's been garbage. But, I think there's a little life with them Redskins there today. Got to plug your nose if you want to bet. And Zero will probably be this one. And I think the over, believe it or not, if you want to throw that one on the teaser. All right, our next game on the schedule, the Detroit Lions will be facing the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons finally got off the schneid. And will they be the typical Falcons that will come out for the second half of the season and maybe look like a playoff team? Or are the Lions going to get their way here today? The game opened up at 1. It's pretty much 1.5, 56.5, 55.5, slight touch on the under. I don't see how anybody can be playing a Falcons game under right now. But other than that, I think it's another plug your nose kind of game. Chip, you got anything on this game?
I was very fortunate last week. Had Atlanta as one of our top plays, and they beat Minnesota outright. Now they come home, and they're playing a team that's very comparable. Detroit's the same type of team. They're very disappointing to their backers. It's funny. In Atlanta, they fired a coach, and they hire Raheem Morris. And at the time when they promoted Morris, they had moved him previously to defensive coordinator, and he had the Falcons with the last 32nd rated defense in the NFL. So how is bad coaching and bad behavior rewarded in this league? With a promotion. So he's now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and I don't think they're going anywhere. I won't be surprised at all to see Detroit rise and win this game on the road.
All right. Kind of like Romeo Crennel in Houston. Worst defense in the NFL. Yeah. Give them a raise. Yeah. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So when we get to that game. All right. I got to believe that the over has some value here today. It's Atlanta. Yeah. It's Detroit. There's probably going to be a lot of mishaps going on. So, but that's the only way I can feel a vibe on this game. The next game, I definitely got a little bit of vibe on. Now, we got the Panthers. They're playing the Saints. The Saints are 6.5-point favorites, still a solid 6.5. Saints are without a key receivers, without Sanders, without Michael Thomas. Are they going to be able to pull off on these Panthers? Panthers have actually been playing a respectable ball, a lot better than most people would think. So I got a little lean for the Panthers here today, Chip. How about you?
I can see that, Louis, because the Panthers have been playing consistent and good football, fundamental football, because they're very well coached. We have Matt Rule's moved over to the Carolina side, and here we go. It's got a pretty good matchup here. The New Orleans has not been a moneymaker this year at all, and there's a lot of questions as to what's going on, not only the injuries, but other difficulties. Drew Brees has not looked as sharp as he has in the past, and I'm just wondering if there's going to be I did not play this game. I did not have an opinion on this game, and I'm wondering, Louis, if there's just going to be people gravitating toward Carolina because of the injuries on the Saints. Usually when teams have players that are injured and players that are not in the lineup, I looked for everyone else to gather up together and make up for the void. But I don't know if that can be done here. Carolina is fundamentally sound. I really don't have a play on this. And when I don't have a play on anything, I look toward the dog normally. But I'm very skeptical of this one because I think the line is high considering. I think the odds makers giving the Saints a lot of credit here considering the injuries they have.
I agree with you. I think it's too many points for the Saints. I'm one to want to back the Saints usually and even tease them. But I think there is that possibility that Carolina could even beat them outright here today. Teddy Bridgewater is doing his job, managing games and keeping them in games. And I look for that to be a factor here today. I like the points, and I definitely like the Panthers on the teaser. I would probably say the under has a little value on that teaser. New Orleans will struggle on offense as they're struggling with the receivers. So, all right, next game on the schedule features the Bills and the Jets. The Bills, after back-to-back losses, now they have that lowly Jets. Are they going to explode on them today? Is this like a first quarter, first half bet? Are the Bills going to rock the Jets? -10, total 40, opens at 48, down to 45.5. So they're liking some under in this game. Bills and Jets, Chip. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I can believe the Jets might go 0-16 on the season. I believe that is definitely possible. The question is, are they going to go 0-16 against the number? They're 0-6 already against the points, and they're receiving a bushel full of points every week. They opened the season with a loss against Buffalo, and Buffalo coming in here has got to be ornery after 2 straight losses. I just hope they don't take New York for granted here. I'd like to see the green slime go down again. As a New York Giant fan, boo to the green slime.
Here. You rooting for the Jets or not being a Giant fan? Are you rooting for the Jets to lose or being a Giants fan? All right, that was a bad joke. I still sore on that Super Bowl 25.
Big mistake.
All right, so it seems like Buffalo is the only thing you can do here, but I'm going to tell you, this game stinks too. Big rivalry. Jets need to get something going. Bills, they got to be pissed. They got to be ready. Tough game. Way too many points, I think. I think the Jets will find a way to keep this game close, and maybe Buffalo gets exposed for really what they may be, just an average football team. So we'll see here today. I have time either side. Even though Buffalo has done well on the road, they are 1-3-1 their last 5 road games. So that seems to be slipping as well. The over has hit 7 out of 10 times when these two teams have gotten together, and the underdog has hit 8 out of 11 times. So some things to think about for this game here today, but I will pretty much be passing on this game. All right, our next game on the schedule. This one I will not be passing on, and we've talked about this a little bit. Romeo Crennel, worst defense in the league, gets hired to be the interim head coach. Now he faces Green Bay after Green Bay gets rocked last week. Is Green Bay going to be on all cylinders against this Houston team? I think so. What about you, Chip?
Well, like we said, the 2 worst defenses in the league had promotions for the defensive coordinator. They both got moved up to head coaching positions. Romeo Crennel, of course, was very disappointing in his previous NFL coaching experience.
Oh, yeah.
Lou, this is a really tough one. This Houston team, to me, it's really tough because Houston is the ugliest team on the board on Sunday. That is the most difficult team to bet. And we're coming off, they're playing a team like the Green Bay Packers, who just annihilated their first 4 opponents and then had it handed to them their last time out by Tampa Bay. And, I have to sort of chuckle when you mentioned about Buffalo not quite being there. And I was wondering what Ross was thinking when you said that. And Ross is also a guy with this game, with this Houston Green Bay game. He thinks that Green Bay really has a strong feeling with, we say, an Aaron Rodgers recovering from a very poor performance. And I don't know if he's going to, if he can't. This Houston team is just an enigma to me. It has been my Waterloo. I had them last week. They had an 8-point lead. They had a 7-point lead and were going to make a conversion. And Romeo Crennel, he's smartest man in the room. Instead of kicking the extra point and going up by 8, he decides to go for 2 and fails. Isn't it a better opportunity to have your opposition have to make that 2-point conversion and put the pressure on them? But Romeo gave them the opportunity to kick the extra point with 3 seconds or 4 seconds to go in the game and then win it in overtime, as Houston didn't make any tackles whatsoever. They're going to have to tackle somebody this week, and they're going to have to come to play. Lou, I'm really shocked that this line is so low. Houston's been absolutely horrid. Green Bay, we know what they've done so far. This line, to me, is very suspect, and I lean toward Houston on it strictly because of the line, nothing to do with the talent, and certainly not because Green Bay's coming off a loss. I would expect them to rebound. And Houston being off that horrible, horrible defeat, they had a 98% chance to win that game with a minute to go and still lost. I'd say that this is the game that don't make sense game of the week with the line being where it is. I would take Houston just as a flyer.
I can see, you're saying as a flyer on Houston because it does smell, man, it smells to high heaven, but I just can't pass this up. Packers, after an ATS loss, 10-1 against the spread. This is a team that rebounds, and and Aaron Rodgers, forget about the personal feelings. The man, when he's on, you don't want to mess with him. He's going to sit down and put a game together, and I can't see how he's not going to put this game together against this defense. And Houston has been just atrocious all the way around. And last week's debacle makes these players feel like we really didn't upgrade in our coaching at all. So they got rid of a bad coach, and now they've been replaced by another bad coach. The locker room in Houston has to be demoralized after that loss. I don't see him rebounding. I think Green Bay is going to be the biggest winner on the board this week. We'll find out today.
Lou, that's my biggest fear, is that they don't come to play at all. And that's why I'm really, really suspect of this number on the game itself. And that's what dropped my eye to it. I think Houston I think Houston is the ugliest play on the board.
Yeah, it does smell. But, sometimes when they just look too damn good to be true, I still got to jump on it because, you know what? When you're right, you're just going to be so mad you missed it. And I just don't see it today. I don't see how Houston can hang with them after such an embarrassing loss last week for Green Bay.
Terrible.
I think this is your spot. But we're going to find out. All right. Let's hit to the next game. Eugene, I'm going to see the next game on our schedule because that's the last game. So we'll go right over to the 49ers and the Patriots. Let's hit the afternoon games real quick. Excuse me. So the Patriots open up a 5.5-point favorite, but they get 49ers get steamed. It's down to -3 right now. So a lot of love for the 49ers. Garoppolo going home for the first time. Does he have a little bit of extra incentive enough to keep this game close and actually win the game outright? I think there's a possibility here today. How about you, Chip?
A couple of key factors surrounding this game. I mean, the Niners coming off a huge win, beating last weekend on a primetime game for us. And now they come to New England, who has lost 2 in a row and hasn't lost 3 in a row since 2002 under Belichick. So the Patriots certainly should be ready to have a press conference to discuss how poorly he's been playing this year, and he's looking to suck it up. And I think the Patriots at home might be a side here. I didn't use this game, Lou, but, here we have the Niners coming off the big win against the Rams, going cross country. Patriots off 2 losers. I think the side should be New England here.
Yeah, it should be New England. Even though I said there's a little potential for the 49ers to win the game outright, without a doubt. It's just one of those games where you really don't know. And the number really seems to be good because it's kind of a pick 'em to me. So I see a little value with the Niners, but this is going to be an interesting game to see which team really might have some playoff material if one of them really pulls out ahead of the other one. So, but I think you're going to get in a close game that's going to come down to whoever's got the ball last is going to win the game. So I think it's a tough game to be betting. Very tough. So, all right. That being said, let's hit to have a quick little commercial. And I'll be right back with you with the rest of the afternoon schedule.
Brad Stein here, live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for BettorCenter Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. BettorCenter Live.
All right, we are back here with BettorCenter Live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios, and please subscribe below, either if you're on Facebook at BettorCenter.com or on YouTube at Louis Diamond, because you will be able to get our plays as soon as we come live. We will be here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time with Brad Stein, and the whole crew will be back again for the Monday night schedule to get you some winners for Monday Night Football. And that being said, let's get back to the NFL, where Chip Chirimbes and I are going to talk about the first snow game of the year. Yes, it is possible that we will see snow in Denver. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Denver after bouncing back strong against Buffalo after their first loss since their Super Bowl win. And the Chiefs open up a 9.5-point favorite, but a lot of love on them Broncos, down to 7 in many spots. A couple spots have a 7.5. Total went from 49.5 down to 44. So I think the snow has snow and about 15-mile-an-hour winds expected for this game. You have an opinion on this one, Chip?
Not really. My first thoughts were, of course, to take the points and to take Denver. And I almost came to the point of where I considered using this game. But, Lou, there's a history between these two, and it's not good for the Broncos. The Chiefs have dominated this series, and, of course, them coming off that big win against Buffalo. And we might see a slight letdown for them, but, this Mahomes, he comes to play every day. Usually pros, we see this. We see ebbs and flows. This kid just comes out every single week, and he looks like a winner to me. The points have gone down. I'm concerned about the weather, like you said. My initial response was to take the home team here, but when I saw the record of the two teams going head-to-head, I have to pass on this game.
Yeah, that head-to-head, 8 out of 9 for the Chiefs, the last 9 meetings against the numbers,
Yeah.
6 straight covers in Denver. I like those numbers. I think the Chiefs are, I think to me, it's a mismatch. And if the Chiefs bring their A game, Denver's got no shot. So what I will do, instead of laying that many points on the road in the division, you know what I'm going to do. I will be teasing the Kansas City Chiefs today. Absolutely. All around. Why not? They will win this game outright. If you got it at 7, you're getting down to -1 on the 6-point teaser. Roll with KC on your teasers today, guys. They will cash that ticket for you. They've owned the Broncos, and they will own them again today. All right, the next game on our schedule, I think, could be probably one of the most exciting games on the schedule. And you know what? I missed the other exciting game. We're going to have to get back to that, the Pittsburgh-Tennessee game. But Tampa Bay is at Las Vegas today. Now, will Tom Brady and company, are they going to have a Vegas flu? Or and the Raiders going to show up for another home game? What are your thoughts on this one, Chipper?
Well, there's the Raiders offensive line was sent home because of COVID testing positive on Monday, and they didn't have a chance to work out. And this Tampa Bay team leads the NFL in sacks, I believe, and they certainly pressure the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers can attest to that. And they have one of the defenses in the league. But, this this Las Vegas Raider team has had 2 weeks to get ready. They did have a bye. And Gruden seems to respond under those conditions. I think I'd take the points here with the Raiders. Off the fact that Tampa Bay had such a great outing against Green Bay, and I don't think they can sustain that. They have to travel 3 time zones to come out here. And the Raiders, L.A., Las Vegas, that is, has been laying in wait. I lean toward, and not even lean, I think the Raiders are a side here. I think there's going to be a letdown for the Buccaneers.
All right, a little bit of a letdown for the Bucs. It's definitely the spot for them to have a letdown.
Yeah.
It's a non-conference game. It's on the road, so I'm trying to see real quick who they play next week. So they actually have 3 televised games, 3 nationally televised games. The Bucs do over the next 3 weeks. I think it's the Giants next week, so they don't have a big matchup to be looking ahead. So that gets me a little bit worried about the Raider thing. But I definitely got to believe that the over's a play here. I mean, Brady is just on fire, and he's been protected. He wasn't sacked last week, so they're protecting him. He's getting a little bit of time. Raiders are putting points on the board. They've got some offensive kicking. I think you got to take advantage of the over in this matchup and see what happens on the game. I have a tough time betting Tampa. I feel like you do. There might be a little play here for the Raiders, but I don't want to plug my nose on it. I'll take the over in this matchup. But now we got another matchup here that I missed here. It's the Pittsburgh and the Titan matchup. Now, this has got the makings for maybe a game of the day as well. And Titans, they're undefeated. They come off that, they come off the big wins. Pittsburgh, they've had a little bit tougher competition. So this is a tough one. So I'm going to lean to you here. You got any thoughts on this one, Chip?
Well, I can understand you missing it in the rotation because it was added on and changed because of the virus. But this is a great matchup. 2 5-0 teams. And, Louis, the thing that I was concerned about when I first looked at the number was that Pittsburgh opened the favorite. And I was very surprised at that. And then I think it had to do with the strength of schedule. They matched up. And you said that Tennessee at home has moved to the favorite, as they probably should be. Um, Somehow, I think this is going to be another one of those big high-scoring affairs with Tennessee running the ball and Pittsburgh throwing the ball. I passed this game. I was at a total dilemma with this. And my total opinions aren't exactly they don't come that often. They're not that bad. I just don't use it that often. And I'm at a quandary with this game. I see two great offenses that can put the ball in the end zone through different routes. You got Derrick Henry. They're averaging 159 yards on the ground. Pittsburgh's only given up 66 yards on the ground. And yet you have Ben Roethlisberger, who's going to move the ball. So it's going to be a great matchup. I think it'll be a great game with contrasting styles. It's going to be wonderful to watch. And I'm really wondering what's going to happen. I'm going to sit and enjoy this one way or another.
I think we could all enjoy it because I'm with you. I'm aligned with you on the over in this matchup simply because when they get together, they play over. 4 of the last 5 have played over. 6 out of the last 7 in Tennessee have played over. Both offenses seem to be clicking here. So I think you got the makings for an over. Got a lot of numbers for the Steelers that tell you under. So, especially on the road, 39-12 to the under. So I'm going to buck some of those trends there, but I believe we got a little bit of an over scenario. You might want to use that in the teaser. And I think either side in the teaser is going to cash for you. It's probably going to come down to a field goal kind of game. It's a pick 'em or -1, and it's very close to that. So we don't know. We're going to find out today, but I think you got a nice play with the teaser here on the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game, either side. Grab them points. All right, the next game on the schedule will be our last game on the schedule. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we got one more. We got the Jaguars. They are playing at the Chargers, and the Chargers 7.5-point favorite, bet up to a 9-point favorite. The total, excuse me, 40. I'll let you go, Chip.
All right. Take care of that, Lou. Ugly game here. We have Jacksonville won their opener, gone out and lost 5 in a row since then. And the Chargers only won 1 game. Here they are, big favorite. I think the public is going to like the Chargers here. They have covered 3 of the 4 that Herbert has gotten into and started, though they haven't produced any wins. This Charger team, Lou, has the number 8 offense in the NFL. And with a rookie first-time quarterback out there, I think he's done a tremendous job, this Justin Herbert. Minshew was from Washington State, Herbert from Oregon, so these two are familiar with each other. Of course, they won't be on the field at the same time, but both of them have a propensity for throwing touchdown passes, and I think that this game's probably going to go over the total.
All right, you're looking for a little bit of over, right? You might have something there because I think Herbert has a big game here today and finally gets that win. Obviously, 7.5-point favorite, supposed to, but
yeah,
why not tease them? Yeah, why not tease them? Herbert gets a win here today. You can count on that one. So I think you tease the Chargers down, and we'll get to my teaser here shortly after our last game. Let's talk about the Seahawks and the Cardinals. I think we got a good barn burner here tonight. Seahawks open up a 3-point favorite. Now they're 3.5, and so 3.5 on the road. So that tells me right there I'm going to be on the Cardinals, but I'm going to be backing Kyler Murray, but really against Russell, it's not a big thing you want to do. But got to definitely have some love for this over. Chip, you have any love on the game?
Well, it's a great matchup. We have 2 exciting quarterbacks and know how to get the ball into the end zone. I think the Cardinals have the highest red zone percentage of touchdowns of any team in the league. And it's just so tough to get by Seattle. They only come up 3 points. Now, we saw what Arizona did to Dallas last Monday night, if you were in tune, totally dominating the Cowboys. And the Seahawks just keep coming along. Louis, they just keep winning and covering and putting me in a bad spot. I mean, they beat Minnesota. We had Minnesota with a cover there. Minnesota led the entire way. But still, the Seahawks managed to come back and win that game, which they do continuously under Russell. I like Arizona here. I think it's going to be a great game. Like I said, I just hate every time I have to go against Seattle what happens. And they've gotten me a number of times before. And I know you like this Arizona team. We discussed it earlier in the year. This Kyler Murray is really something special. And I think that they rise to the occasion. You know, this Arizona team's defense allows virtually 150 less yards a game than Seattle. Seattle's weakness is their passing defense. They're giving up over almost 400 yards a game. And I think Murray can exploit them. I'm looking for Arizona to win this game on the field.
All right. A little dog on the money line at home, possibly. That's going to be taking a little balls, but I see it definitely having the potential. I'll stretch it the other way and take the Cardinals on the teaser. I'll definitely be all over the over on this game here today. The question is when do I stop betting the over? So I definitely feel you got to be rolling. And the overhand's in steam, so that worries me a little bit, but not that much. I just cannot see how this game doesn't go over here today. All right, that being said, let's get to our most interesting play of the day. Chip, what do you got for everybody? Give us a winner here. You've been on fire. Let's keep it going.
Well, I think the interesting player, the one that catches my eye right off the top is not necessarily going to be a great game, but it's that Green Bay game where we discussed that number is such a come get me. After the Packers were just pushed around, annihilated by Tampa Bay, and Houston having this psychological imprint on them after their loss they had, I'm surprised this number isn't higher. I think it's very interesting that this number is where it is. I wouldn't be surprised to see Green Bay win the game, but stay under the number.
Damn, you're killing me, Chip. Killing me. Yeah, I mean, you did that to me yesterday, too, with my big play, Miami, and fuck, you're on fire. And I went against you, and I paid the price. Oh, but I still got to roll with
it's a day in the life,
that's
Lou.
Not. So, but all right, let's. But I hope you're wrong. That's all I can say. But I hope you were wrong yesterday, and that didn't work. So, but neither here nor there. Let me give you guys a teaser that I know will cash for you here today. So we're going to start with. We're going to take a couple dogs in this teaser. We're going to take the Panthers. We're going to take them up plus 12.5, or maybe 13 if you can get it. And then we are going to take the over with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. We're going to take those. We're going to bring down the Chiefs to potentially minus 1.5. We're going to take the Bucks and the Raiders over. We're going to take the Chargers. Got a bunch of teams there. And your other doggy is going to be the Bengals today. So those are the teams I think you can tie up, mix and match, and make yourself some nice teaser plays with here today and make a little bit of money and enjoy Sunday NFL football. All right, Chipper, thank you very much for joining us here today. I know it's an early start for us out here on the left coast. I appreciate you getting up early and getting us some solid information. You've been on fire. May it continue today outside of that one play against Green Bay. And we look forward to bringing you some more stuff here tomorrow. So please give everybody a little chance to tell them how they can get a hold of you today to get some more winners from you.
All right, good. I tell you what, go 702-931-CHIP. Give me a call.
Yeah, 931-CHIP. All right. That should be easy to remember.
Gotta go.
And pretty soon, he'll be right here on BettorCenter.com, and his plays will be available to you a la carte every day, and so will all the handicappers. So that's coming this week. So look forward to that. I look forward to joining you again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Brad Stein will be here hosting with the full slate of handicappers and Monday Night Football. So thank you very much for joining us. This is Louis Diamond. We'll see you again tomorrow on BettorCenter Live.